All right, so welcome to Platform Analytics Academy, December the 10th. This is our last live session of the year. 2025 is almost over. That is absolutely crazy. In 2 weeks, we'll have our 2025 year in review. I'll actually have that recorded and I'll post it out on the community. It will not be a live session, but here you are, our last session of the year. So we're super excited about that. So I'll quickly, as usual, get through some logistical information and then we'll get directly into our content. So with that, as usual, these are always for you, better understanding practical guidance, things of that nature. Today is definitely that as well with some new things that are coming out. It obviously is being recorded, so please feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy. And the recording will be uploaded to the community and, of course, YouTube within the next couple days. Q&A, please ask questions. But all that we ask is that you utilize the Q&A to ask those questions. We do have other panelists that are on that aren't presenting that can answer questions. If you put questions in the chat, we're not able to keep up with those questions. I actually don't get those after recording is over. Hellos and kudos and things of those nature are always great inside of the chat, but let's just put the questions in the Q&A themselves. So safe harbor. This obviously may play a role today. Rusba will actually let us know here shortly, but it's always good for us to bring it up and make sure that you are aware of it as we go forward with the content that we're showing today. So I am Thomas Davis, and today we do have Rusba that's going to present, and also Verabu. I have a feeling I probably just completely said that wrong, and I apologize for that. And then we also have Dan here and Tara's here. Marta and Olga may show up, but I also always like to make sure that I just acknowledge that they could be here. But for those of you that are here, super awesome, and we really appreciate it. And like I said, today we're going to talk about the CxO dashboards now and next. We had a session this past summer that kind of talked a little bit about the CxO dashboard and the CIO dashboard, but some new things have come about, and Rusbo wants to make sure that he's able to share that with you all. So with that, Ruz, if you're ready, you can definitely take over sharing, and we can get rolling.
All right. Thanks, Thomas. Let me share my screen. Perfect. I hope you can see the right screen.
We can. Yep. Thank you.
Perfect. Great. Thank you, Thomas. Like mentioned, I'm Ruzba Paksod, product manager at Platform Analytics, and with me also today is Vera Bahu, who is one of our designers working on the CxO dashboards. Today, we'll walk you through where we are and where we're heading with our CxO dashboards. And this session is essentially about two things. So first, giving you a clear view of the current offering and the progress we've made. And second, showing how the next evolution that is powered by Platform Analytics and AI will significantly elevate the executive experience. We'll look at what's available now, what's being enhanced, and the roadmap that brings us towards a unified, intelligent, and fully scalable CxO analytics experience. Let me go on to the next screen. There we go. So I want to start very briefly about why executive dashboards matter, the role they play in decision making, and why they're a strategic priority. Then we'll look at how our initial innovation lab work evolved into a fully productized CxO offering and what we've gained by moving on to Platform Analytics. From there, we'll walk through how we designed the dashboards specifically for executive personas based on the different ways a CIO, a CFO, a COO, and their teams consume information. We'll review the capabilities that are available today, including some of the enhancements we recently shipped, and then we'll move on to explore the AI-assisted creation and the AI analysis and exploration features, and how they're shaping the future of the dashboard interaction. Finally, we'll close with research insights that are guiding our roadmap and informing the next evolution of the CxO experience. By the end, I hope that you'll have a clear view of where we are today and where we are headed next. So very briefly first, why even executive dashboards matter. When we talk about executive dashboards, we're really talking about enabling better decision making. So executives need connected real-time visibility across their business, not in silos, not in one-off reports, but in a unified view that aligns strategy with day-to-day execution. Right now, a lot of the organizations still rely on fragmented reporting. This creates blind spots, slows down action, and forces leaders to make decisions without the full picture. Platform Analytics addresses this by bringing together data, context, and workflow into one experience. And that's exactly what the CxO dashboards are designed for. So they offer a pre-built role-based executive view that surfaces the most important insights and help leaders make confident, data-informed decisions. Very briefly also about the Innovation Lab and just to clarify how things started and how we moved on to a more productized solution. So we began in an innovation lab to learn quickly, essentially, and to test ideas directly with the C-level stakeholders. The innovation lab gives us a safe space to experiment, iterate fast, and to understand what truly drives clarity, trust, and action for executives. This phase also helps us define the core experience model that Platform Analytics could scale. So the result of the innovation lab is essentially a validated CxO blueprint, something that's ready to be rebuilt as a scalable, governed platform native solution. And with this slide, I wanted to just put the two in a comparison with each other. So we see the innovation lab versus the productized CxO dashboard. I'm not going to read them the comparison line by line, just to emphasize some of the improvements that we've made and how they're different from the previous experience that our customers are used to. In the lab, we had the freedom to explore concepts and validate what mattered the most to executives, but it was still a prototype. So it was limited data lineage, limited interactivity, and not built for scale. With Platform Analytics, the experience becomes enterprise ready. So we gain a governed data foundation through Workflow Data Fabric and CMDB. Dashboards become fully customizable and interactive. And we deliver the performance, security, internationalization, accessibility, and AI readiness expected from a true platform product. So the bottom line is simple. The lab defines the vision, and Platform Analytics delivers it at scale with trust and depth built in. Next, we'll shift into how we design this dashboard specifically for the executive personas. Each CxO has different priorities, different mental models, and different decision patterns. So the way we structure information, surface insights, and support action needs to reflect that. To walk us through the design principles behind this work and to highlight some of the current capabilities we've delivered, I'll hand it over to our product designer, Virabaho.
Hope I'm audible.
Yep.
Thank you, Rose. Hello, everyone. I'm Veera, product designer for Platform Analytics, responsible for dashboards and data visualization toolings and experiences. I'll be walking you through the design principles behind the CxO dashboards and highlight the key capabilities we have delivered. When we designed the CxO dashboards, we started with the decision-making needs of each executive role. The roles such as a CIO, a CFO, and a COO, for those who look at the business through a different lens, for them, the information architecture needs to support their specific priorities. At the same time, the focus areas do differ for each personas. Here, all the dashboards follows a general structure or a core structure with underlying design principles. The example here shows how we bring those principles together in a unified and a role-based experience. We used consistent patterns for how the KPIs are introduced, how the trends are displayed, and how supporting details are layered in. So this ensures that each dashboard feels tailored for the executive personas. So I would like to emphasize few key components and the layout structure that reflects our design principles. One of it is the usage of tabs. Here, each executive dashboard is organized into decision areas, and each area answers a specific question that matters to that executive. We present these areas as tabs to keep the experience clean and easy to navigate. So this lets the leaders or the executives to jump directly to the specific part of the business they really care about. That could be the value. These specific information could be under the value, the operation tabs, or within the security, the execution, or the experience. For all the dashboards, the first tab will be always an overview. The overview tabs pulls together the most important insights from all the decision areas for the executives to get a clear, high-level picture before they dive in deeper. Now coming to the layout of the dashboard. Within each tab, we use a pillar-based layout to group related KPIs. This keeps the information structured and makes it easy for the executive to scan across the dashboard and the areas that really matters the most. At the top of each pillar, we surface the primary KPIs, the big questions that executive really cares about. And below each primary KPIs, we have added supporting indicators that provide the necessary context. And from any KPI, users can drill down to explore the data further or understand what is driving the trend. So this layout keeps to maintain a clean hierarchy while still supporting deeper analysis whenever and wherever needed. Now that we have covered the design principles and structure behind the CxO dashboards, let's take a look at what's available today. In the next slides, we'll be walking you through the current capabilities and the enhancements we have delivered to make the dashboard experience more flexible, interactive, and more aligned with the executive needs. First, we have introduced CxO Dashboards 2.0, which provides out-of-the-box executive dashboards built directly on our new inline platform analytics experience. We have also added flexible layout controls to edit the dashboards, such as adding dividers and grouping the elements in the dashboards, and configuration enhancements for the headers and margins, and drag and drop options. These controls give the authors or the editors more control for creating clean and responsive layouts. We have also improved the sparkline visualization by adding primary and target color controls for clearer trend comparison. And finally, we have rolled out guided onboarding to help our users to understand the structure of the dashboard more quickly and drive adoption and engagement from day one. Together, these enhancements create a much more polished, flexible, and executive-ready dashboard experience. Now, Rusbe and myself will walk you through these capabilities in real time. Please allow me to share my screen. One moment. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So what we're seeing here is the guided onboarding. That's what the user comes across first. And this is essentially to help them better understand how to navigate the dashboards, how to customize them, and also understand the general concept behind the different decision areas. This, of course, will be a bit different in terms of content when it comes to the different dashboards. We're using the CIO dashboards as an example here, but all of them follow this the same general structure or approach, however, with different content. So if we begin the tour, we'll see that it will immediately highlight the overview tab. Like Vera mentioned, the overview tab essentially serves to just capture the content or a summary essentially of all the other tabs and decision areas. And it's a good starting point to understand what's going on in the organization. The guide then walks us through a bit more specifically what this overview dashboard is about. It goes into explaining the key decision areas and the questions that they aim to answer. Again, this is different per executive persona, and we're just using the CIO one as an example. Next, we'll see highlight of the headline indicator. This explains that this is one of the key things that the persona should want to track, and that they can click on any metric here to drill down further. Then we'll go through the different tabs. We see the value tab, and we have a description about what the value tab aims to capture. In this case, we wanted to have as a first thing the value that the CIO is bringing to the organization. And also in this description, we see that where the data is coming from, and that will be explained further on later. So once we go to the operations tab, we see that in order to understand the operational aspects, ServiceNow is pulling the data from its service management, IT operations management, and IT asset management. And similarly with the security tab, we're given a brief description as to what is the security tab about, what kind of content is presented there, and where the data is coming from. And in a similar fashion, also the execution and later on the experience. And the experience essentially helps to give the IT leader an understanding about how people perceive the services provided. Other key things we wanted to emphasize is, of course, the refresh button. Seeing that these are sometimes very operational dashboards, it's good to be aware of that, as well as the dashboard information and in more actions. So here we have a series of options. We'll go into them a bit more in detail, but just to emphasize a few is that you can duplicate, you can share, you can export, and you can also get access to a printer-friendly version.
Thanks, Rose. So in addition to Rose's explanation about the guided tour, and I would like to emphasize that the CxO Dashboard 2.0 will install next to your old version and will not be replacing the existing one. However, the user can easily duplicate and recreate the experience the way they want it. So let me edit this dashboard to walk you through some of the key controls that we have introduced. So let me start with the grouping of elements. Okay. So we have an out-of-the-box experience. The user should be able to group things as they want depending on the goal of the organization. You can add these elements into the group by editing the group elements by simply adding the elements that are across the dashboards or by drag and drop into the element group. So next, let's take a look at the enhanced configurations for the dividers. So you could notice we have introduced controls to add dividers between the widgets, and you could notice the configuration options that are available for the dividers to change the orientation from horizontal to vertical. And also you can adjust the length of the dividers to fix to the dashboard length, and also you can assign a fixed length to the dividers. And last, I would like to walk you through the header configurations that we have introduced for all the data visualization types. You can align the title by either to the left, center, or to the right. And also you can add more, by adding more characters to the title, you can control either by wrapping the title or by providing truncation up to 3 lines. So for example, if I increase the characters, up to 2 lines, you can also restrict up to 1 line by providing an ellipsis, or you can simply wrap the title. So this provides more flexibility to control the spacing within the widget. And the option bar will simply remove the padding within the widget. And also you can control the spacing for all the elements within the dashboard simply by selecting the predefined options that are provided on a dashboard level. So you can select these options that increases the margin between the elements. So we believe all these capabilities will help to design the dashboard more flexible and under control. Now over to Rusbe again to cover the rest of the topics. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharing my screen again. Perfect. So now onto the AI enhancements that we've made and that we're working on in the coming releases. Let's look at how AI is transforming the way dashboards are created, analyzed, and explored. This is where the experience becomes not just easier, but also smarter. And it allows our users to build dashboards conversationally, surface insights instantly, and explore data in a much more intuitive way. So starting with the AI experience layer for building dashboards. This brings AI directly into the creation process, and it allows you to build dashboards conversationally. So using natural prompts like show me service performance over time, you can add visualizations to your dashboards. And this instead of searching for data sources, selecting charts, or configuring visuals manually. AI does essentially the heavy lifting for you. It also provides proactive intelligence. So as you're building, it's surfacing timely insights, patterns, and suggested refinements that help you shape a better dashboard without needing to have a lot of deep analytical experience. And ultimately, this dramatically reduces time to value. What used to take days or multiple iterations can now be done in minutes with AI assisting each step of the way. AI Dashboard Insights automatically surfaces what matters most across the dashboard, the key trends, risks, opportunities that executives would otherwise have to really look for. It gives you a concise first glance summary that accelerates understanding and helps you orient yourself immediately. And from those insights, you can jump directly into deeper exploration or guided actions. So instead of scanning charts and piecing things together manually, AI brings the most important story to the front, and it helps you go further with just a click. We also have the AI Data Explorer, which brings conversational analysis directly into the workflow. The Explorer lets business users explore and analyze the data simply by asking questions in natural language. So there's no need to know the underlying schema or where the data lives. It works across indicators as well as workflow data fabric data, and it can reason over structured operational data in a meaningful way. As users explore, the system also generates contextual insights that guide deeper analysis. So helping them understand not just what is happening, but also, and importantly, why it's happening. And when users find something worth tracking, they can instantly turn these findings into dashboard components, which also helps accelerate insight creation and reducing the back and forth between analysis and design. Finally, I also wanted to share a few insights from our recent research. These findings highlight how executives actually use dashboards today, where they struggle, what they are expecting from an intelligent platform native experience. These insights directly inform our roadmap, and they help shape both the enhancements we prioritize short term as well as the long term evolution of the CxO dashboards. Our research focused on three main objectives. So, firstly, user fit and value. And this means essentially understanding whether the new CxO dashboards actually meet the needs and expectations of executive users. Secondly, KPI quality and clarity. With this, we mean assessing whether the KPIs we surface are relevant, clear, actionable, and supported by reliable data. And third, UX and future opportunities. With this, we wanted to identify where the experience can be improved, where AI enhancements can unlock even more value, and how organizations with different levels of data maturity can be benefit from our out-of-the-box experience. And these objectives guide both our evolution and the recommendations that follow. So, what do leaders actually want from dashboards? Our research confirmed a few consistent themes across executive roles. First, leaders want to have dashboards that tell a story and not just display numbers. They want to understand what's happening, how well things are working, where the risks are, and how people feel about the experience. Second, they value simplicity and actionability. Big numbers, clear trends, and quick ways to filter or drill in. We also heard familiar pain points, fragmented tools, inconsistent definitions, and slow or unreliable refresh cycles. These issues erode trust and slow decision making. And finally, leaders are open to AI, but with one condition: it has to save them time. They want quick insights, alerts, and auto generated charts that remove manual effort rather than add more steps. These findings directly shape how we refine the CxO dashboards moving forward. Our research also highlighted how priorities vary significantly by role. So, for technology leaders, for example, like the CTO, the focus is on operational stability, critical incidents, backlog health, and key delivery milestones. In HR and talent, the priorities shift towards employee satisfaction, hiring efficiency, and diversity or succession planning. For data and strategy teams, it's all about SLA performance, processing speed, and understanding risk signals across the business. And we also saw some commonalities across e-commerce and product leaders, namely customer satisfaction, success rates, and ticket volumes. These tend to dominate the conversation. These differences, however, reinforce why a one-size-fits-all dashboard doesn't work. Each CxO needs a tailored view that reflects their specific decision. And this is exactly also what we referred to earlier, what Vera showed when it comes to the customizability. It's very easy to duplicate, customize the dashboards according to your specific needs. And then the design principles that we derived from this research. First, dashboards should be intuitive. I think this goes without saying, but it means essentially big, readable titles, clear color-coded signals, and fast filtering so leaders can get oriented instantly. Second, we need to show trends and context, not just single point metrics. Leaders want to compare performance to last month or last year and understand whether things are improving or slipping. And third, we must enable drill downs without adding clutter. So executives want to have the options to go deeper when needed, but the top level view must always be clean and focused. And these principles guide every dashboard pattern that we're building. And then when it comes to the AI opportunities, some of the highlights we wanted to mention here are small alerts. So the feedback that we had was that the AI should flag spikes, drops, and emerging risks before leaders even open a dashboard. They should have quick insights to highlight anomalies and trends that might otherwise go unnoticed. Auto visualizations that can generate charts for custom ratios or questions on the fly to help reduce manual setups. And the AI agents that can take action in the background, for example, cleaning duplicates, routing tickets, or checking compliance. Again, with the purpose of turning insights into actual outcomes. And these opportunities show how AI can not only improve dashboard usability, but also accelerate the decision making and operational response of the executive leaders. All right, so with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention. And I think we have some time as well for a question.
Yeah, we have quite a few questions, so I'll kind of just go down through the ones that are related to content covered today, and then we can get to other ones if we have time. I know we have panelists, so some of those are getting answered now. So all right, so we'll just start at the top here. So the one feedback I have is that it doesn't show why a report under the operations view is empty. Also, is it safe to assume that all reports on the plugins now point to platform analytics and not the older performance analytics report? So I'm guessing with the previous CIO dashboard being which I think most of that was UIB. Is everything pointing to platform analytics in this now? And then,
Yeah, that's correct. So also just to emphasize, we're not replacing the former Innovation Lab offering that was built on top of UIB. So when you're downloading the new experience, you're essentially having two things side by side. And our hope is that you would start duplicating the experience that you want. So it's very easy to customize out of the box experience and customize it according to your organization's needs. So you will have two experiences living side by side initially if you're already on the Innovation Lab offering.
Yeah, and then I think the other part to that is it doesn't show why report under the operations view is empty, which could be for numerous reasons. I mean, maybe there's no data, maybe the data collections job that indicator is pointing to hasn't been ran or
Yeah.
something like that. It'd be hard to sort of know the answer to that, right?
Correct. And we have quite extensive troubleshooting guide as well. So you have an installation guide, there is a troubleshooting guide, and I think missing data is one of the key things we're guiding the users on.
Yeah.
So as the admin is setting things up, they're also getting ample documentation as to how to make sure there's no missing data, and if there are missing data, what to do about it.
Okay. And is it possible to see the values of the score indicators in real time on the CIO dashboards in PA?
Um,
So I'm guessing maybe if I'm understanding this correctly, I don't know if they're talking about a scorecard view of the indicators in real time, or I mean, depending on when the job last ran, that's feeding the dashboard would determine whether or not something's real time. Again, that's one of those things that's based on how often a job collection or data collection is being ran. But unless Lena is meaning something different, I don't know, and maybe she wants to add to that. I don't know, unless you understand it differently, Bruce.
not fully, but if we could maybe get a clarification, we can always look into it.
Yeah,
But
let me
pretty much
see.
what you
Let her
said is fine.
talk real quick. Let's see. Hey, Lena, I allowed you to talk. Maybe if you want to elaborate on your question, you there?
Hello, hi,
Hey.
good afternoon. I don't know, it's here afternoon in Massachusetts. I was wondering on the previous version, which was not in Platform Analytics, we built indicators, but they were not real time. Sometimes single scores could be in real time on just regular dashboards, right? So here in Platform Analytics, when we see dashboard in next experience, could we mark somewhere a setting that it should be real-time indicator? Because they all indicators, right? Behind that dashboard.
Uh,
Not the graphs, but the ones on top,
yeah.
right? They are indicators.
Mm.
So similar to
Uh,
the score. Is there a way to show, because that was the question from our C-level leadership,
mhm.
why we didn't show the real time on
Yeah.
CxO dashboard in the previous version.
Yeah, so this should be possible, and also I believe there should be an indication as to when it was last refreshed. So um, that should be more apparent as well for whoever is viewing the dashboard.
I don't think it's related to job run uh, because the single scores have that option on just regular dashboard in
Mhm.
their previously to platform analytics. I don't know how to else explain my
Yeah.
question.
Um, Thomas, would it be possible to maybe get back to Lena with um, a correct answer? I would need to look into a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's fine. And I think I'm understanding what she's talking about because I know that previously in performance analytics, when you had a widget with the indicator underneath, you could actually, check to show
Yes,
real-time scores. So I think that that's what she's referring to, and I'm pretty sure that you can do the same thing in a data visualization and platform analytics. I just need to find where in the menu. So, Lena, if you can, just shoot me an email, thomas.davis@ServiceNow with that same question, and then we'll get you an answer back.
perfect. Thank you. Sorry
Yep.
for the time.
No problem. No problem. Thank you. Um, okay, let's see. All right. So, when, where will these dashboards be made available?
Starting from Zurich family release.
And where? They're in the store, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you can just simply look at the store. There's still, like I mentioned, two versions. So one is the Innovation Lab offering, and the other one is what we've presented now. So been mindful of that, but it should be pretty clear also in the release notes and in the description what you're getting.
Okay, thank you. I knew that this question was going to be asked because it does look really nice and sleek. So, how do you get the column sections added to the dashboard?
So they come pre-configured like that. And then, like Vera mentioned, you can simply click on widgets. So let's say you have a different view in mind. You don't like what we're providing out of the box. You can add your widgets and then you can simply select them and add them to a shared group. It's very intuitive and it comes with the documentation as well. So you simply select the widgets and you click on the grouping icon and then they will form a group. And it's also drag and drop, which is even more intuitive. In case you want to customize what is already in a group from the out of the box experience, you can just click on the edit and then deselect the things you want to remove or select things you want to add.
And then, of course, you could, in the same manner, change the content of the reports on the dashboard too, right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's essentially you go to the edit mode and you can add things in line. So any form of visualization that you want or element in general.
Okay. And then, are there any specific roles that are needed to do anything within this dashboard, these dashboards that are
Um, I-
outside, creating, being able to create a dashboard or visualizations? And then just,
it-
anyone can create a dashboard, but I'm guessing
yeah,
maybe
it's
not for this
the
one. I don't know.
no, it's the same thing roles as previously. So I believe dashboard admin. Uh,
Okay. And then this may have been answered, but we'll ask it again. So, we were using the CIO dashboard when it was in the innovation lab phase. During that time, many reports were pointing to performance analytics and not platform analytics. After the Z upgrade, one, we do not see KPI details like average close time of requests showing up. We get warnings on the indicator that this indicator is being used across multiple jobs. Does this mean that we need to create a separate indicator for duplicate metrics? So obviously, this is a question about the innovation lab one. And I don't necessarily know if you know why this would change with the Zurich
yeah.
upgrade to something of that nature, but this again may be a question that might need to be emailed to me, and I know I could probably reach out to Vivek and he might be able to answer that, but maybe you know?
No, I think better to do it via email and then we can give a correct answer immediately. So
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with all the details of the innovation lab
Yep.
setup,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
it will be a very quick
So
answer
whoever
right now.
anonymous is, just send this question to me again in email, thomas.davis@ServiceNow, and then I will get it over to the developers that manage the Innovation Lab CIO dashboard. Okay. And what version included guided tours?
The
Again, I'm thinking there
2.0 version
probably
that
is this the
you're
Innovation Lab or is this the new one that has the guided tours?
the new one. So
Yeah.
the 2.0 that you'll see.
All right, let me see what else I flagged here. Okay. Okay. The store description of the CIO dashboard says professional version license of the products, ITSM, ITOM, ITAM, SecOps, SPM. Does it require pro licensing for all or just one of these? Do you know any of the
Um,
licensing requirements?
yeah, so you would need it for the data that you want to see. So if you notice in the key decision areas, it's pulling data from all of them. In the case of the CIO dashboard, so you would need a license for those.
Okay. And is there documentation of what tables and fields are being used for the CxO 2.0 dashboards? This is helpful to ensure data is accurate and identify missing data due to
Mhm.
customization.
Yes, so in the installation guide and also in the troubleshooting guide, there should be this information. Otherwise, it's also in the general documentation of Platform Analytics.
Okay. And how do we access these executive dashboards and can we modify them or do what we need to duplicate and then customize? I think we've answered that. So obviously you can
Yeah.
get them in the store and then you can obviously access those via the filter navigator and you can modify any one of these, especially with these now being created in the inline editor. It doesn't require great development like the Innovation Lab one that was done completely in UI Builder. So you do have the ability to edit them if you desire to. And then of course you can, because this is a dashboard, you can duplicate the dashboard if you want to do that as well. Is that right, Rizwa?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's one of the benefits also with this
Yep.
productized version is that now you can duplicate it and it customizes however you want. So it's much more flexible, and you can adjust it according to your needs and the organization that you're in.
Okay. And then the Innovation Lab offering had configuration tables available for metrics and dashboard. Is it safe to retire and stop using these? I don't know. I think as Ruzba said earlier, it may be a good idea for you to run them next to each other and make sure that it's the same information is being replicated on both before you decide to get rid of or
Yeah.
remove things.
Yeah,
Any more you
please.
want to say on that, Ruz?
That's indeed what we would recommend. So have them side by side and first try it out.
Okay. And then is there an executive dashboard focused on vulnerability management? Do you know if that's in the future?
Specifically for vulnerability management, not, but I do believe it is covered in one of these one of the many executive dashboards. Maybe I could again, uh, if we know who is asking this, we could maybe follow up with a detailed response where which dashboard would be more suitable for that. So
Okay.
again, via email if that's possible.
Okay. Yeah, Colette, if you can shoot me an email, we'll try to get you some information on that. Would be nice if there was a KB article for migrating the Innovation Lab app to the supported app. Again, I don't necessarily know that you're
No.
migrating per se. You're kind of just there's a new
Yeah.
one. They can run side by side, but I think if having information about one to the other and the way that they compare and things of that nature, I mean, we can definitely put that on the radar to try to create something, but there's not an actual migration, right?
No, there's no migration. So what we recommend is that you maybe take this opportunity also to revisit your dashboard and iterate on it. So when you install the 2.0 version, it's just living next to the old one. It's not replacing it, and there's also no migration in that sense. But recreating it is much more easy and flexible. So you can simply just copy the or duplicate the existing out of the box experience and customize it. And it's much easier and more intuitive. It's an inline experience. So we don't expect too much trouble.
Okay. And then, assuming the CIO would need a fulfiller or business stakeholder license to see the dashboards, I don't think so, right? And you should,
To my
is there a
knowledge,
particular
no.
role to see it?
No, I think I'm not sure what that role would be titled, but you should have access to see it. It's editing would be restricted.
Dan, do you have any that you flagged answer out loud or?
No, I've been trying to get through the ones that are unrelated to the
Yeah.
topic, so that's
Okay. Yeah, we have some very specific ones here.
I think there's one asking about when this is going to be referenced in a publicly available article. Do we have like, I don't know what that means.
I
Like,
don't know what that means either. Is it in the docs yet, Ruse? I mean, it's out there since Zurich, right?
Yes, but depending on what they mean with the articles. So we have the usual documentation and release notes that should be available. I think Shishir is raising their hand.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, you can talk. You there?
Yes, so that was my question actually. So I referenced an article KB 1709304, which is available, and that's basically Platform Analytics Experience FAQ support and troubleshooting. So that particular article actually has references to the problems. And when I try accessing the problems, it says no record found.
Are you talking specifically about migrating the issues?
Yes, yes. We
Okay.
are trying to migrate from we have migrated our dev and planning for our QA migration next week. And our teams have been facing some issues with it. So we just wanted to, we are referencing that article to ensure that teams have relevant access from a migration standpoint and they're able to troubleshoot their dashboards and such for migration. But some of
Dan, we
these,
have you have an article that you created, right? Or a community article that talks about this information, right?
On the CIO dash on the
Well, I think he's just talking about migration in general.
migration in general,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
migration engineer, yeah.
Yes. Yep. I will go grab that and put it in
Yeah,
the
if you could
and
put
put it
that
in
in
the
the
chat.
chat, Dan,
Yep.
that'll help out a lot. That might help you. And then if not, you can just let us know.
Yeah, I've put the link I'm actually accessing. So that's KB1709304. That's the one I'm accessing. And it has a whole bunch of information how to migrate and troubleshooting and all of that. And it references some of these problems which you're discussing here, like in the Q&A, if you look at it.
Yeah.
And when I actually click on to those problems, those links say no record found.
Okay. Yeah, I'll find out what's going on. I don't know that we
Yeah,
created that KB article, but I'll find out who did and see if we can't get that fixed. Obviously, that will be there for everybody. And then
yeah,
Dan has one as well that may be answering some of these issues as well. But I'll find out what's going on with that KB article. I grabbed that link, and Dan just
sure.
posted the one that he created in the community.
Oh, super. Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
I'll reference that as well. Thank you.
Yep. No problem. Thank you. All right. Do the CIO CxO dashboards require an idle license for someone to view the dashboard?
Sorry, could
Ruse,
you
you know the answer
read
to that?
the question again, please?
Does it require an idle license for someone to view the
Mhm.
dashboard?
Um, that's a good question. Let me get back to you via email as well.
Okay. All right, Kim, I will post the answer to that on the community once we have that. All right, Steve has his hand up. Let's see what Steve has. Go ahead, Steve. You got a question?
Yeah, for some reason, my question is not showing up on your end of the queue. We have upgraded our sandbox and dev instances to Zurich Patch 3 Hotfix 2, and we've discovered that the top right buttons disappeared. And so as a result, we're not able to duplicate and work on customization in our lower environments. And looking in App Manager and in the store, searching by either CIO or CxO is not returning any results. How do we get this back on track?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all. I think if you could please submit a case test, a defect, support ticket, then we could look
Yeah,
into it.
I would
I
agree.
think
And
that's just,
I
yeah.
did find it in the questions queue, so I marked it here. So
So, Steve, please just submit a ticket for support. I think just a defect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We have quite a few here. Wow. Some very specific ones too. So, oh, okay, let's see. So we didn't, you kind of showed a little bit of a demo, but this one's asking, would there be a demo to show how easy to create these types of reports? My C levels look at many different things depending on situation and filter conditions can change very frequently. But I think the documentation that you referenced will kind of show that a little bit. But
Yeah.
again,
In
if you're familiar with how to create
yeah.
and do anything in an inline editor, that's what this is created in. So if you're creating dashboards in the inline editor now, it's the same thing. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that some of the things that are on these particular dashboards from a data perspective, you can do the same thing. But if you're familiar with your data, you can definitely you can duplicate some of the visualizations that are on the dashboard and go backwards and change the data source to have the same view and things like that. But again, I think the biggest thing is that if you're familiar with the inline editor and how to create dashboards and visualizations there, you're really probably 75% there on how to, change and edit these particular things. So, Ruse, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you covered most of it. So, in addition to documentation, I believe there's also some useful videos on YouTube as well. Some of them maybe Thomas yourself put up, but they can also be guiding you through some sort of getting started. And other than that, I think the inline dashboard documentation is quite extensive. And then whatever is very specific to the CxO dashboard, you can refer to that documentation. If there's anything specific that you're missing, we could always try to include it as well. So separately as part of the documentation that we have or the go-to-market material that we're preparing. So whether that's interactive walkthroughs or YouTube videos or whatever can help people quickly get value from these dashboards.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let's see. This is unrelated, but I'm going to take it here real quick. I'm having an issue where I run the job collectors and it shows data has been collected, but when building the indicator, data visualization, no data populates into the widget. Well, I would say that if you have run the data collections jobs and you're showing scores in the scorecard, and then you're not seeing data in that data visualization, I don't know that this is the case, but the first thing that pops into my mind is whether or not you have duplicate indicators, which is possible. So I'm wondering if the indicator that you did grab maybe is empty, it's not attached to a data collection job or something like that. If it's the correct one and you're still not getting any data inside of your visualization, then there's probably something deeper going on. It kind of doesn't make sense. Maybe I would suggest creating a different visualization type to see whether or not you get some data in that. If you still don't, then there could be something else going on. Dan, Tara, I don't know. I mean, those are the first things that jump out to me. I mean, if you have data in the scorecard, you should be seeing data in the visualization. Now, depending on what type of visualization you're looking at, if it's a time series and you have some predefined length of time in like a date filter or something that you're looking at, and data's not for that particular date range, maybe it would show up empty. But
Right.
outside of that, data should be there.
Right. You need to be checking exactly how you have your widget structured or visualization, sorry, structured.
Yeah.
Because that oftentimes is one of the issues, or the way it's been collected. Like if it's been collected on a weekly or monthly, then it's not going to show up the right way. It's not going to visualize the right way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like instead of collecting it daily, we always recommend collecting daily and then aggregating when possible. But sometimes people accidentally collect it weekly or collect it monthly and think it's going to show up, but it won't. Not the
Yeah.
way they expect it to. Anyways.
Yeah. So
And was that
Denise, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bruce. Go
oh,
ahead.
is that the same
Or
as
Dan.
because Denise did a follow-up on saying brand new indicator, not a duplicate. I think it's related to the same one here. It sounds like. And Denise, we can take her off mute to see if just to clarify.
Yeah, we can, but Denise, yeah, I'll unmute you. I'm sorry. But I think maybe
I just want to
you
make sure they're the
can
same issue.
shoot me an email, maybe with some screenshots, and we can figure. I did allow you to talk, but we can definitely take this one offline, and I can see what's going on.
Okay, I'll shoot you an email. Thank you
Yeah.
for taking me offline.
And honestly, it sounds like a case to me. It sounds like a
Yeah, it
support
sounds
case.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so I
it
do
should
have
work.
case open with ServiceNow. And my indicator source is set up to collect anything in this particular instance that was created on new that day, and it runs daily for frequency. And then when I did a historical job collection for a year, I know the data's out there. And then when I go to populate it to the widget in a time series, nothing comes up.
But there's scores in your score sheet.
Mm-hmm. It's a change management metric. And then I did a brand new one. Both of them were brand new, but I did another one for strategic portfolio management and built it per the requirements. And we can see there's data in there in the job collection, but it doesn't come up to the pivot. This one is a pivot table.
Okay. But you're are you validating it looking at the score sheet, the actual score sheet?
On the automated indicator?
No. So if you go into your left-hand navigation and you type in the word score sheet, it'll actually populate show you what scores are being used to do your aggregations. And it'll show you the date. And if there's a breakdown, what scores being put in for each breakdown. And that kind of helps you troubleshoot whether or not your breakdown's working properly. It's kind of like your troubleshooting guide. So I suggest pulling that up and using that to troubleshoot because you might find that your data might not be exactly where you expect it to be.
Yep, I use that. That score sheet is the same thing I drill into on the automated indicator to see what was collected. Because there's a link on the automated indicator to go into that score sheet.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So
Yeah, just
I'll be
shoot me an
playing with
email.
it.
I
Okay,
can,
and
I
it
can,
was
we can figure this out.
thomas.davis@servicenow.com.
That's me. Yep.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Okay. Thanks, Dara, Tara and Dan. I put y'all together. Dara. How's that? A new name
That
for you
works.
both. You can tell I'm
That
a dad
works.
with kids because I add my kids' names together all the time. Not that y'all are my kids, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Well, if you answer to Dara, then we know. So there you go. All right. So one last one that we're going to do, and then I'll try to get the answers to all these because there are some things that I need to do before we close out. There's a poll that I want to do, but one last one here, Ruzba. So how we recently upgraded to Yokohama. Is there any equivalent to the CxO dashboard in Yokohama? And we talked about this, right? The Innovation Lab one that is out there is available for the CxO dashboard. Anything you want to add to that?
No, that will be it. I think from Zurich, you should be able to upgrade to the
Okay.
2.0 version.
Okay, great. And again, we'll have all these questions because they're in the Q&A, and I'll try to get answers to these by the time we post it. One real quick thing that I want to try to do is there's a poll that I want to do real quick. So we're trying to get and prepare for next year as it relates to Academy and any sort of content that we do, K26 and things like that. And then of course we did AI Data Explorer about a month ago. We did that session, and that's getting ready to drop, I think, here in a day or so. So we're hoping to get some insight about that. But I just do want to put a poll out there, and if you're open to filling it out and doing that, that would be super awesome. I'll give it a couple minutes here, and you can definitely fill that out. None of this information, I'm not going to show this poll at the end, but if you're interested in doing some collaboration, or you're open to being excited about AI Data Explorer, and if you anticipate using it or anything of that nature, if you can definitely, fill in some information, and then we can definitely reach out to you later. And I've always talked about having an academy session that we collaborate with a customer, somebody who's done something that's really amazing inside of Platform Analytics, and they're interested in sharing that, or they have the ability. I know that obviously organizations are different, and maybe you can't, and I totally respect that as well. But we're definitely looking for some people that are interested in doing some collaboration things of that nature. So you all are seeing the poll, correct? Maybe Dan, Terry, y'all see it?
I
Somebody
closed
can
it.
mute it.
It
You
was up.
closed it, but you saw it,
I
right?
saw
Okay,
it.
Yeah,
good.
I saw it
That's
and
all I need
closed
to
it,
know.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So while everybody's filling that out, I'll kind of just go through some last bit of things here. So we just, of course, AI data snapshots. That's out there as well. If you're interested in, or I'm sorry, this should be AI Data Explorer. I need to fix that slide. Like I said, we did this about a month ago. It'll be dropping here in a day or two. And if you're not familiar with it, or if you are and still need some more information, scan this QR code or use the link there, and it gives you some more information about that. Data snapshots, there we go. Data snapshots is what gives you the unlimited filtering capabilities. So if you're on Yokohama and RaptorDB Pro and you want more information about data snapshots, scan this QR code, look at this quick video, and get some information there about it. We're starting to do some things, new things with predictive analytics. So if you want to help that, if you want to help shape the future of that, we have a survey that we have out there. Take you 3 to 5 minutes to fill that out, and it definitely gives you the ability to, influence what the future of predictive analytics looks like, and we'd love to get your feedback on that. So scan that QR code, and the link is there as well. So it'd be super awesome if you could give us some insight there. Of course, the community has changed a little bit. It does have a different look. Hopefully all of you have seen that. And speaking of that, we do have a video that's on that main page that talks about the content that we actually covered today. So it's a quick video that Ruse and myself put together that introduces and talks about the CxO dashboard. So if you need a little quick hitter to show some people within your organization, you can definitely lead them to that video there, which is super good as well. As usual, always, if you have impact, you should be utilizing that. Training and certification, ServiceNow University is out there always, and expert services. So if there's some advanced things that you'd like to do, and you have some expert services time that's out there, or if you're looking to get that, any one of those QR codes will take you to those particular things. So check those out. And in 2 weeks, I'll drop the video for 2025 in review. Basically, what I do here is I talk about all the sessions that we had this year. It will not be live this year. They've sort of cut off my time period of when I can do Academy. So this happens to be the day before. the holidays here, so it will be a recording that I'll drop then. So check that out. And with that, thank you to the presenters, the panelists that are here, and thank you to all of you that have joined. I know that this session has grown so much. We appreciate all of you and have great holidays, and we'll check you all out in 2026 if you can believe that. So thank you.